NIT, Government of India, India Electronics and Semiconductor Association, and Formulate IP Techno-Legal Solutions, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all of you. We appreciate you taking time off your busy schedules to join us today. We hope you will find the program we have lined up for you to be fruitful and engaging. I'm Srimoy, an intellectual property attorney working at Formulate IP Techno-Legal Solutions. Now, as we all know, each one of you present here today has some unique and creative idea, which is nothing but your intellectual asset. Like any other valuable asset, your idea requires sufficient protection. And that's where intellectual property rights come into the picture. So without I would like to introduce Mr. Arun Venkatasubramaniam, the moderator of this panel. Arun Subramaniam is working as a senior patent consultant at Formulate IP. He is an electrical engineer with a master's degree in robotics from Royal Institute of Technology, Sweden. After working in engineering R&D in Sweden and Germany, Arun now works with R&D groups, entrepreneurs and startups in converting their ideas and products into strong patents. Arun, I request you to take it forward from here onwards.
It gives me immense CEO, Karnataka Asset Management Company Private Limited. Mr. Jaikumar has more than 24 years of experience in banking and VC industry. He joined Karnataka Asset Management Company as Vice President in 2006 and has been the CEO since 2008. Mr. Jaikumar has an engineering degree in mechanical engineering, and he is an associate member of Institute of Cost and Management Accountants of India. Sir, thank you for being here today.
Don't choose the mic.
Next, I would like to invite Dr. S. Senthil Kumar, who is now the head of IP India in ABB India. Sir, please. Dr. Senthil Kumar is currently heading the Intellectual Property Department of ABB in India. His IP experience is largely on IP matters, especially in IP harvesting and patent prosecution. He is very passionate about IP and technology, and he likes to apply his research and product development experiences in the field of IP. Dr. Senthil Kumar has an engineering degree in instrumentation engineering, and he also has an MS degree from Indian Institute of Science. He has a lot of scientific publications in the area and is academically extremely active. Sir, pleasure to have you over here. And finally, we would like to invite Mr. S.K. Murthy, Patent Council of Intel India. Welcome, sir. Mr. Murthy is an engineer and a lawyer. After completing his BE, ME and his research on the technical field, he did a postgraduate diploma in IPR, and then he has a law degree, and he is currently pursuing his PhD from NLS Bangalore. In addition to this, he is also a registered India patent agent, and he has more than 20 years of experience, which includes a few years as he was also the faculty in an engineering college. Sir, pleasure. So at the very outset, I would like to understand from our experts over here about what are the role of IP when it comes to ESDM sector specifically, and also any kind of organization in general. So, sir.
Good afternoon. From the VC perspective, IP is very much important, because whenever a new startup company comes to us and they seek funding for their project, the first thing what we ask them is whether you have an IP. The reason for asking this is, most of the companies, when they say we have a product developed, and when they go to the market, they may take 1 or 2 years to develop the product. Whereas once the product comes to the market, if they don't have an IP, somebody can easily make a similar product, and they can be competitive to them in a very short period. So if they take 1 or 2 years to develop a product and spend a lot of money, the copied product can come into the market within 6 months. So they lose a competitive advantage. So normally any company which comes to us for funding, we first ask them whether you have an IP. If you have an IP, then they have an entry barrier for their product. So that will be the most advantageous thing, because once they go to the market, they have the early mover advantage. They can grow their market from there. Without IP, it becomes difficult for them to survive in the market without competition. That is the main aspect of that. The second thing is there is always a financial risk if you don't have a IP, because you don't know you have developed a product for which suppose somebody has already had an IP on that, and you have by intentionally, without intention also you would have copied that without your knowledge, by way of ignorance. Then there is a financial risk on you. So suppose they can file a case against you and seek for financial compensation on that. So there is a financial risk also involved. Suppose you have a patent, then you can anybody copying your technology, you can file a case against them for copying your technology. The third important thing for us is, since you are a startup company, if you approach your customers, if your product is patented, he has got a lot of comfort on that, because he knows that you have developed the product, there is a patented product, and there is nobody else who is going to come and compete with your product. So that is always a competitive advantage for you. And in addition to that, this patent can always be a capital asset to the company. Just like your brand, goodwill and all those things, you can value your patent and create value in your books of accounts also. So that creates a lot of value for you in your financial statements also. So these are the major reasons why we ask the companies whether you have a patent or not before we start funding a company. Thank you.
Can you hear me? Okay. Let me first start off with talking about what does a patent give you, right? If you have a patent, of course there are other flavors of intellectual property like trademarks, copyrights, trade secrets, designs, all those things. But let me first focus on patents and see what does a patent give you, right? Of course, under Indian Patent Act, we don't have a definition for patent, but if you look at what patent gives you, it gives you a right to stop others from making, using, selling, offering to sell, and importing the invention, patented invention. So basically, a patent gives you a right to stop others. Once you have that right, anybody who enters into your domain or who starts practicing your invention without being authorized to use, you can always go after them and stop them, right? Once you can stop them, you have protected your invention and the use of those inventions in your products, right? So basically it's a protection mechanism. So there needs to be a very, very strong IP protection in the country to protect the startup culture, to protect IP generators, patentees, and innovative companies, right? Including individuals. And look at this. Today, I mean, probably 20 years back, if you look at companies' valuations, they were mostly on tangible assets. Today, that paradigm is shifting from tangible to intangible assets. Look at Uber. Uber is a car company with no assets at all, right? They don't have any assets. But still, they are being valued at, according to one of the studies, they say it is valued at $17 billion, and from another study, we can see that it is valued at $50 billion. What is this valuation for, and where is it coming from? Any guess on where it is coming from? Where is the valuation for Uber coming from? It is mostly because of the trademark and their business model, right? The trademark is such a valuable brand, which is form of intellectual property. So we can never shy away from providing strong protection for intellectual property. We have to, and it is very, very imperative, whether it is a small startup company or a big organization, which once upon a time was a startup company. It is imperative and almost compulsory for any organization, any inventor to protect their invention. Without that, it will be very difficult for them to move forward and to have that competitive edge for a limited period of time.
Thank you, Mr. Murthy, and we can all understand how much IP is important for you in Intel. And now from ABB, Dr. Senthil, if you could please say how IP is important and how it is playing a very important role in ABB, it'll be great.
Right. Sure. Of course, when we look at technology as such, especially the electronic system design and manufacturing area, today's thing, it's very easy for us to look around and identify products that belong to this technology space. Today, the concept is also changing from what we look at as, okay, you have one product in the isolated manner as how probably I would say 2-3 decades ago we used to look at. Today, if we start looking at this product, we start seeing maybe a simple watch itself is like, it's not like just a watch to say, but it's a device or it's a product which is connected with a system. Today, the way the technology is moving, we are integrating or in process of integrating what products that used to be in an isolated manner, what used to function in an isolated manner, we are integrating with a larger system. We have like our own definitions of like, okay, by this way, like how a product or how a system becomes smart, or there is a strong need here to go or to become much more smarter things. But you start looking at to make such a product or to make such a system, what kind of work that is happening behind, or how is this technology that is coming in. I'm starting with this technology as the first concept to bring out this, that if you pay attention, there is IP all around us. So the IP, what we start looking at, okay, IP as patent, we start looking at what does it take to actually come up with such a system. The system, there are so many things that are working behind, or say in a background, and providing some or other utility to us here. Another example here is the electric grid. Of course, for us, like, okay, there is a power that is coming in. So if I have to speak from ABB perspective, ABB is a company which is mainly focusing on this technology area of power and automation. Power, there are a lot of things like from generation of power till bringing the power for use in a particular thing. How does such a system come into existence? The same thing like when you start looking at from an automation point of view, there are a lot of things that you put a device like could be in any industrial area. You put a device, we expect that the device knows like what it is and able to connect with the system. We may call it simply a plug and play concept thing. You just plug the system, it starts functioning. There are a lot of automation that has gone in here, and the use of that to in process industry or electrical industry is like enormous. Now what has happened here? We're talking about electronic systems. We are talking of when if I have to use the example of plug and play kind of a thing, we're talking about there is a way in which the systems are designed where they start getting connected with the system. The products are designed to connect in a very special way with the system. There are a lot of engineering that may happen here to configure each and every product and have them connected with the system. A lot of that is getting automated, thereby enabling a very efficient manner of having products get connected to systems. And in these systems or in these products, the work, the technology development has happened on maybe on improving or in increasing automation, in making more value brought in terms of what features it can offer, not by just by itself, but by being connected with the system. IP comes in.